Hello and welcome to this quick guide on how to add NPCs to your game in Creator. NPC stands for Non-Player Character, which essentially means it's a character like my one here, except no one is controlling them. To add an NPC to your game world, navigate to the Primitives tab in the library, either here in Advanced mode or if you're in Basic mode, that's open the library with L and select the Primitives tab here. Choose NPC and then click to add them to your game world. You can move them around and rotate them just like any other object in Creator. Once you've moved your NPC into position, you can also change their appearance. Select the NPC or open the entity editor by looking at the NPC and interacting, either E on the keyboard or X on the controller. Scroll down in the entity editor over here and change the customization preset to change the appearance of the NPC. I can also change the outfit to any of the outfits from any of the previous battle passes by selecting this drop down and changing it here. So let's change it to Rapscallion, which is a kind of piratey outfit as part of Scallions. By adding an NPC to my game world, I'm bringing my game to life and I'm showing that this world exists when I've closed the game down. Let's see what else our NPCs can do by investigating some new API calls that exist to guide and to change what the NPC can get up to. If I select the NPC, I've got a couple of scripts in here. NPC base action and NPC movement script. If we take a look at base action, you can ask your NPC to crouch, stand, jump, and emote, depending on the conditions that you set. For example, on this script, I can emote on init, and then I can select an emote for the NPC to play. To take a look at this in a little bit more depth, visit the API docs, api.creator.com. The key ones that you're looking for are things like self get entity play emote. If you want to play an emote, you need to send through some kind of emote asset. So set up a property like this with the type being emote asset, and it means you'll have this drop down where you can choose what emote you want your NPC to play, and then say self get entity play emote and send through that emote asset. You can also do things like set crouching to true or false and jump, which will make the NPC jump. You can also ask your NPC to move to a location by doing self get entity move to position on a script that's attached to the NPC. If we take a look at this call with a bit more detail, we can see that here in the IntelliSense documentation here, you can see that you will supply a target position for where you want the NPC to go to, a completion callback, which will be a function that will get called depending on whether the NPC reached their destination or if their movement was cancelled for some reason. So that will be a function with a parameter true if they reach their destination, false if it was cancelled for some reason. And the movement mode as well, 0 being walk, 1 being run, and 2 being sprint. It's worth bearing in mind that there is no pathfinding algorithm. So NPCs are kind of, they won't know what's going on in the environment. They won't know where they need to jump. They won't know where they need to crouch. They won't be able to navigate round objects. This is a first pass with NPCs, and it's a really exciting addition to Creator. There's lots you can do with them, and I look forward to seeing how you use NPCs in your game in Creator.